Now we're going to add our first of two technical drawing sheets. So once again, let's go over to Sheets, right click on it and make a new sheet. And this time we want to make sure we grab the E1. If that's not in your document, we can figure out how to add it in. We can go over to, I believe it is Insert or Manage, and we can load an Autodesk family. And hopefully we can find this title blocks. We can find the title blocks that are available for our drawing from the cloud, load Autodesk family, and then call it in. I'll cancel that because we actually have it already in. So we're going to put at least 3 views on this. Let's put some plan views. First one I want to drag on is like the first floor plan or level 1, just to get an idea of its size. I'll place it on the drawing. It's coming in at 1/8 inch to a foot, which seems like it'll fit. We have these tick markers for the elevation. So I'm going to click into this and get rid of those right away. So I'm going to select all of those objects and go hide in view by category. And it looks pretty good. So I'll right click and deactivate it, and I'll delete it and drag it back on again. And there we have our level 1 on our technical drawing sheet. Next, I want to bring in a foundation plan. So that would be this is the first floor, the floor below it, that shows where our foundation walls are going to be placed. And we actually don't have a level for that. So let's go ahead and create one. So one of the first things I'll do is let's close off a couple of these tabs here. We have a lot of tabs open just to keep the desktop clear. And we'll go to the south elevation. And we want some kind of a plan along below here, below level 1, where we can actually see these foundation walls. So I'm going to go to Architecture and grab the Level tool, come over here and line up with both that bottom of the, or top of the footer, beginning of the foundation wall. And let's re-click on this and go Foundation. So that's labeled for us right away, and that'll create us a level that's called foundation also. So now we can go back to our sheet, and we'll drag on level 1. Oh, excuse me, not level 1. We're going to drag on foundation. And that'll come in at the same scale with some of the similar issues. Actually, it's coming in at a different scale. It's coming in at 1 foot to a tenth. So let's go ahead and change that right away to 1/8. And I'm going to double click in that so we can get rid of our ticks here. Hide in view by category. And then deactivate the view. And I'm going to delete it. And drag the foundation back on again. And I'm going to wait until I get aligned and get an alignment hint. And that looks pretty good. And I'll place it there. So couple of other views we can pull on while we're here. Let's pull a south elevation, except that south elevation is rendered. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate it because I don't want to change it. I'm going to duplicate that south elevation and I'm going to rename it. And we actually want to change the rendering style here. So I'm going to go ahead and select that. I'm going to go to Graphic Display Options. And I'm going to change this to, actually, I'm going to cancel out of this. I'm going to do this a different way. I'm going to give it a view template. And I'm going to say architectural elevation. Just select it and click apply. And it's automatically done. So I used a view template to change that setting. I also notice this back wall is still high. This may be because I went backwards too far into my versions. Let me just change the offset on that really quickly. So it's not sticking up above. Okay, so we have a south elevation view. Let's go back to our sheet and grab that south elevation and drag it onto the sheet. And let's drag one other elevation on. Let's drag an east elevation on. And I'm kind of lining it up there. I can't line it one over the other like I would here because there isn't a one-to-one correspondence with those two. So there we have our 2 elevation views. So we populated our technical sheet. Next thing we'll look at is adding our dimensions for the floor plan and for the foundation.